there, everybody. I am Alexis Ward, and this is 12 Faces Psychology. So today's video is going to be about manifestation. Boy, is that a saturated topic. So I'm going to do my best to put my individual spin on this. It's based both on spiritual teachings, but also just on my personal experience. What works for me, what doesn't, and how I get to the outcome that works for me, or how I utilize manifestation in a slightly different way, because it's actually a little bit less outcome oriented than most types of processes of manifesting that are out there. All right, so I'm going to give you 5 steps or kind of talking points about manifesting, and we'll go from there. All right, so number 1, head and heart alignment is key. Now, what I mean by that is that most people think of manifestation as I make my vision board, I think about it, I see myself having the house I want, I see myself buying that new car, I think about it. Well, here's the problem with that. There's a couple problems with it, actually. Number 1, manifestation occurs far more from an emotional level in third dimensional reality than it does from an intellectual level. Do you want to have a somewhat clear vision of what you want? Yeah, kind of, but more than anything, you want to feel what the felt experience of having that thing in your life feels like for you. And that's where most people get really tripped up, because they're just using the mental space to try and create what they want in the physical world. And it's really the emotional attunement. It is the energetic alignment with that reality, with that parallel timeline, with that thing that's going to allow you to create it in your physical world. So you really want to make sure that your head and your heart are aligned. You want to make sure that you are having the emotional experience far more than the intellectual, because actually the intellectual experience can be very limiting, right? If you're like, oh, I want the experience of total financial abundance, that's pretty open. That's pretty open. But if you're very, very specific and you're saying, oh, financial abundance is defined for me by having $50,000 in the bank, well, the universe might have given you a whole lot more than that, or it might have come in a totally different way that would have been so much more expansive and so much more exciting, but you've really narrowed your vision with that intellectual concept of what you want, rather than just being in the felt emotion of what does financial abundance feel like for me? How do I feel in that state? And the more that you tune into that frequency, whatever that is, oh, I feel free, I feel powerful, I feel alive, I feel totally unlimited. The more that you tune in to that felt experience in yourself, the more that you're aligning with that reality. And I would encourage you not to put too much intellectual blockage in that process, because ultimately there could be far greater gifts than what you can conceptualize out of your little bitty ego. So try dialing in emotionally to what you want. How would you feel having that thing? How would you feel having that experience? That's where you want to go with your manifestational experience. Now, point number 2, in order to clear subconscious programming, use reality as a mirror. So the reason that I'm saying this is you can't get clear emotionally with that vision without doing some subconscious surfacing. Because what happens is we might think, I want total financial abundance. And we might tune into, oh yes, I feel free, I feel good, I feel whatever. But then subconsciously, below our conscious awareness, we've got all this programming running, all this conditioning, all these limiting beliefs, all this stuff just kind of just swishing around beneath the surface here. And we need to surface that so that we can see what our limiting beliefs and experiences are that are maybe conflicting with what we're sending out into the universe, right? Because emotion is a vibration, it's a frequency that we emit in order to engage with what will become our concrete manifest reality. So if what we're broadcasting is both a signal of I want financial abundance and I'm not worthy, both a signal of I want total financial freedom and I don't deserve that, you get a mixed message, right? And then you get a mixed manifest reality in return. So in order to really manifest from a pure conscious state, you have to know what's running in your subconscious programming. And the best way to do that is to use your reality as a mirror, because that's actually what it is. So if you're using your reality to mirror to you what's in your subconscious mind, you're going to start to see all of this stuff surface. You're going to start to see all the places in your reality of like, oh, well, here I am in this job where I feel undervalued and underpaid and unseen and powerless. Okay, then all those experiences that I'm having, I'm no longer going to look at that as like, oh, I'm a victim of my circumstances, or oh, this is a result of my job, my boss not liking me, or whatever. It's no longer about the other person or what's going on out there. That little pot of feelings that you have about that, that's your subconscious mind right there telling you you're never going to be enough. You're never going to deserve the things you want. You're never going to have what you need. And that's what you need to deal with. So I also want to kind of ping my emotional transmutation video, because that goes into much greater depth on how to work with these kind of limiting beliefs and these negative emotions that you might discover as you're utilizing reality as a mirror this way. So use whatever that is. Wherever in your life you don't feel aligned to that frequency, to that financial abundance picture and feeling that you have inside of yourself, go seek out the places where you don't believe that yet, where you don't think that's possible, and where you don't feel that way in your current existence. Bring that to the surface, own it as your own creation, own it as your own belief, and transmute it into what you actually want. All right, now number 3, I really just covered this basically, but transmute negative emotions and limiting beliefs. So basically you're taking what you see in your reality and you're going to allow it to come to the surface. And instead of putting it out there on your boss, on your job, on your whatever, on your mom, on your this, on your that, own that shit, and recognize that it is your creation, that you have a belief that that is what you deserve and that's all that you're capable of. And once you own that in a really deep way, then you're able to clear a space where you can feel your worthiness. You can feel sort of the opposite or the correlate emotion of whatever these negative beliefs and limiting identities are. And you can start to call in that new energy in a much cleaner and clearer way. Because if you're not aware of your limiting beliefs, or you're blaming and externalizing them still and seeing them as a result of other people's action or just the unfairness of reality or whatever, you can't master reality from that perspective. Mastery of reality can only be done from a self-responsible place. So you have to take ownership of those things and take responsibility for transmuting them into what you actually want. All right, now number 4 is hold on to the feeling, but let go of the outcome. So keep cranking on that feeling. Whenever you can go back to that juicy, unlimited, free, beautiful feeling, that beautiful experience of who you are in that manifest reality, go back there. Go touch on that feeling. Do it 27,000 times a day. Do it as much as you want to do it, right? Because it's always there and available. It's always there as a choice to return to that experience of yourself as more unlimited. But let go of the outcome. Like we were talking about before, don't pigeonhole your outcome into, I need it to look this way. Don't have an expectation of, me manifesting what I want has to look like X, Y, and Z, and especially not making it specific material things like, man, is that limited? That's super limited. So you want to keep it as unlimited as possible. Basically, tune into the feeling of what you want, recognize what's blocking it by going into your subconscious, using reality as a mirror, and then stay attuned to the feeling of what you want and entirely drop, as much as you can, the idea of what you need that to look like. All right, now number 5 is know that whatever shows up is the exact next right thing for your growth. So what that means is that you're looking at this as an organic process of self-development. We don't want to get locked into the idea of like, I didn't get what I wanted, so I don't know how to manifest, and now I'm reinforcing my feeling of powerlessness as a result, or I'm mad at the universe, or I'm this, that, whatever it is. We want to look at this instead as a developmental process where you are engaging with your own subconscious, your own psyche, your higher self, to begin to command your reality. So if the next thing that you get is actually the opposite of what you wanted, guess what? Thank you, universe, for showing me what's going on in my subconscious. Thank you for showing me where I have a block to creating the things that I want. Let me go into that, own it as my own, and emotionally transmute it so that I can be an increasingly clear conduit for what I do want to call into my life. All right? So I hope this has all been clear, and I hope that you really tune into the feeling of what you want. Bring it into your heart, bring it into your field of awareness, bring it into your emotional, felt, vibrational state, because that is what ripples out and creates your actual manifest reality. I hope this video has been helpful today, and I hope that you will come back and see my future videos. Bye-bye for now.